Welcome, cooks, to the Recipe Vault. Today we're making apple crumble muffins. This is straight out of an interesting recipe collection I have here that's typewritten. It may have come from a high school food class. So join me. Let's make apple crumb muffins. So if you're new to Amy Learns to Cook, every Sunday we do what we call the Recipe Vault. And I have a whole bunch of recipe collections that I've collected over the years. And they're pretty much boxes of handwritten and clipping recipes. And one of the reasons I wanted to start this series is I wanted to pay
homage to the home cook?
Yeah, to the home cook. These are their recipes. It's not from the internet. It's not from a cookbook. These are recipes that they hand wrote or clipped because this is what they cook with.
Or in this case, typed.
Yeah, and this is interesting because this one here is like this old Betty Crocker box. And I think they originally sold this box, and you get on some kind of recipe card subscription where you get these recipes and you get packs of the recipes, and I think you got them every month or something like that, and would fill up the whole box. Well, whoever had this didn't quite fill them all up with the recipe cards. They have this whole section that's clippings and handwritten recipes. So I've been digging through this massive pile of recipes, right? If you want to say, oh, will Amy ever run out of recipes in the Recipe Vault? No, right? So I've been thumbing through these, and one of the things I found that was interesting is I found 3 stapled set of papers in here. And this set is hand typed, and it has a lot of fun things on it. Skillet mac and cheese, which sprinkled with carrots on the top. We have frostings and potatoes, and look at the old typewriter. They didn't have correction ribbons, so they just type over the top of when they made an error. This is also typed on paper. This is kind of interesting because pie crust, right? It's typed on a letterhead from the Excello Corporation in Detroit, Michigan. And I looked that up. And this company used to make auto and airplane parts. They were near Ford Motor Company. They were created by some people that left Ford, and they started this company in 1990. It has since gone out of business. I looked up the address of where it was, and the address is now a company that makes bases for liquor, spirits. So that's sort of the history of this. So this could be someone who worked there or their spouse. They typed up recipes on their letterhead. So that's pretty interesting. So the recipe today for apple muffins is coming off of this pamphlet, I guess you could say. And it looks like it was typed, but this looks like it may be a photocopy of it. And what's interesting is it starts out with general rules for menu planning, and then every page has something that says Foods 1 at the top. And I'm thinking maybe this is from a high school home economics class or something. Maybe college or community college. It's not recent, because the paper's all yellow. But see how it says Foods 1, demonstration. Here's a recipe for popovers. There's some recipes in here for biscuits and jelly and muffins. And I just picked out this recipe today, pineapple muffins, for apple muffins, because I have some apples that I need to use up, so we're going to be making muffins off of those. I really kind of want a crumb topping, so we're going to make a crumb topping to go on top of these apple muffins. So let me go grab the ingredients. Okay, so we have a little stand mixer going on here. I think I'm going to use the scraper paddle. So sometimes when you make muffins, you'll just make the dry ingredients. They're telling you mix the dry ingredients, make a well, and then put in the liquid ingredients. So since I'm using a mixer, I'm going to go ahead and stir up the dry ingredients in here. Even the sugar, even though that's kind of a wet ingredient. I've got, this recipe will be up on my website. Baking powder, salt, nutmeg, and they have some weird, nutmeg and cinnamon, they have some weird measurements on that. They want you 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just going for a whole one, right? So I changed that up a little bit.
Maybe they're not pigs like we are. I don't know.
Why would you do 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon? Just do a teaspoon.
I don't know.
It's kind of weird. So I have milk. I'm using almond milk because that's how I am. So they want melted shortening. And I did that because that's what the recipe called for. I really wouldn't use this because they're melting it. So I would probably just use like olive oil. That's my preferred oil. And an egg that has been beaten. So we're going to go ahead and turn our mixer on. And I don't want to over mix it, so that just solidified the shortening.
It did.
No, I really would have just used oil. I don't know what the difference would be. So we have our batter here.
Does it have any fragrance to it, like cinnamony like?
Yeah, my mixer didn't quite catch it all the way to the bottom.
Oh, shame on you, mixer.
There you go. That did. Apples, chopped apples. They didn't say whether to peel them or not. So I did, just because. Just do a quick fold in there. And we're done.
Ooh.
It smells like cinnamon. Cinnamony goodness. Really quick, I'm going to make a crumb topping. They don't have a crumb topping, but I want one. So let me make one real quick. Okay, I should have made my crumb topping first, right? So I have 1/3 cup of flour. I'm using brown sugar. You can use just granulated, regular granulated sugar. We're going to go ahead and mix that up. Equal parts sugar and flour. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're going to crumb up our crumb topping here. Okay, so I don't have to grease the pan. I'm just using muffin liners or cupcake liners. This thing says it'll do 12, so we'll see how many we do here. And I got different color liners here. Here's 6. Put a link to the disher in the description. 1 scoop. 1 scoop of disher. Woo!
I was going to say, are they going to blow up much?
There's 4 teaspoons of baking powder in here.
I just want to know if you're supposed to only fill these up halfway or something.
It says 2/3. Give a little crumb topping here. Big crumbs and little crumbs. This is like some of that topping you see on those crumb cakes. That's why I like it. So I ran a little short on the yellow. So now we got green. Crumbs. So we're going to be baking these at, they say 400. I have a convection oven, so I dropped it down to 390. So it depends on your oven. 400 seems a little high to me, but hey, that's what they say.
Gotta have some drama, right, boo-boo?
So I'm going to bake these off, and we'll be back. Okay, the muffins are out in the oven. They're looking amazing, right? But of course, I want to take it over the top yet again. So I'm going to make a little glaze. So I have a wee bit of powdered sugar here. I'm just going to put a little apple cider in there. Stir it up. How much you use, I don't know. You want it kind of thick. I put a little bit more powdered sugar in there because I put too much. Okay, I had to put some more in there. I got a little crazy with the amount of cider that I put in there. You kind of want it somewhat stiff. Not stiff, but if it's too thin, it's just going to run off there. It's not going to be good. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so let's glaze it. I have it over my sheet pan here, so I don't get it everywhere. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. That looks good. Apple Crumb Muffins. Look delicious. Apple Crumb Muffins, Apple Crumb Muffins. Those look mighty good. Ooh, woohoo! I think it's time for us to try these babies. So, cooks, we have apple crumb muffins, dressed up a little bit from the original recipe. The original recipe was just apple muffins, but of course we had to take it to another level, right? And we had to make it like that. You want to try this, baby?
Maybe. Thank you, boo.
That's a showstopper right there.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Looks delicious. You ready?
Sure.
Cheers, everyone, to the recipe vault. To the recipe vault.
Tastes a little apple-y.
Yeah. I got a full piece of apple in there.
Mm-hmm.
These are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I think the crumb topping and the glaze brings a little bit more sweetness to it. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I up the cinnamon a little bit. I do taste a little baking powder.
Oh,
Do you taste it?
Oh, hell no. I'm good.
I don't know if I would reduce that a little bit. Tasty though.
It baked fine. I leave it on.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy these. The recipe will be up on my website. Thanks for joining us.